Check, check, check. Check, check, check. What's up, people? We'll let some of these viewers come in. We got a big fight tonight. Terrence Bud Crawford. Let me check the audio real quick. Terrence Bud Crawford is going to take on Showtime Sean Porter for the WBO welterweight title. It's a good fight, man. Good style matchup. All right, cool. Audio's good. And let's get it. We're here live. Your boy Young Cantu, Air Show Sports. And we're moments away from this big fight. It's a fight a lot of the fans wanted to see. And personally, I wanted to see this fight too. I mean, it's a good clash of styles. You know, Showtime Sean Porter is a guy who comes in. None of his fights are dull. He's a come forward, aggressive style fighter. He brings a lot of relentless pressure. But he knows how to box too. You know, he's been in the amateur ranks and, you know, he's been in there with a lot of veterans, Sean Porter. Sean Porter's a guy who doesn't duck any smoke. You know, he's always in there to fight top competition. And, you know, Sean Porter's fought everybody in the welterweight division. And, you know, he's a former world champion, former WBC world champion at welterweight. So he's a formidable opponent for Terrence Bud Crawford. And Terrence Crawford is arguably pound for pound the #1 fighter in the world. So, you know, this is a great fight. But a lot of people have believed that Crawford has or hasn't really faced top level opposition, at least at 147. And he's got wins against Joe Horn. He's got a win against Benavidez, the younger brother of the better Benavidez. You know, Crawford's coming off a sensational performance against former welterweight champion Kell Brook. And he stopped Brook, I believe, in the 7th round. It was a straight jab that hurt Brook in that fight. And, you know, Terrence Crawford is a sensational fighter with a lot of skills. He's very versatile. He's a guy who can adjust to any style he sees in there. So that's why this fight is so intriguing. It's because both of these guys have versatile styles. And I can't wait for this fight as we're moments away from it. Less than 5 minutes until both fighters make their ring walk. If you're in the building tonight, make sure you smash the like button. It's been a while since Air Show Sports has been live. But we are here again, and I got the setup going. I've been real busy, but hey, this is a good fight. And, you know, I decided to go ahead and, you know, do some live commentary for this fight. This fight, the winner of this fight has a big claim at being the top dog in the welterweight division. Errol Spence Jr. is the other champion, the IBF and the WBC champion, who's coming off a victory over Danny Swift Garcia in the 12-round decision. But he's only had one fight since his car wreck about 2 years ago. And I'm going to be honest, I don't think Errol Spence has the momentum and the steam that he once had. And I think he's a guy who is definitely a good fighter. But Errol Spence, you know, I thought he was the best guy at 147. But, you know, things have transpired since, you know, he's captured the title. He beat Sean Porter where he was tested heavily. He was hurt in the fight. It was a back and forth fight. I believe that Sean Porter won more rounds than a lot of people gave him credit for in that fight. And, you know, I could see an argument where people believe Sean Porter beat Errol Spence Jr. 115, 113. But Spence got the decision. He got a split decision victory in that fight against Sean Porter. But you know, it was a tough fight for Spence, and that was the first time we had seen Spence, you know, go through some adversity and show a little vulnerability in his fight. So, you know, Sean Porter is a game solid fighter who doesn't duck anybody, and he's going to be a tough test tonight for Terrence Bud Crawford. So, I'm looking forward to this fight. Just making sure that you know, we got everything set right here. I got the stream going. And apologize here, but we're moments away from these fighters making their ring walk. If this is your first time tuning in to Air Show Sports, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And Jimmy Lennon Jr. has just announced the singer for the national anthem as we're getting very close to this fight. And let me set the stage for this fight. Terrence Bud Crawford is 37-0 with 28 knockouts. He's undefeated, and he is a formidable world champion who has a true claim to a pound-for-pound ranking in boxing. Him and Canelo Alvarez are synonymous with the pound-for-pound tag right now in the sport. So high expectations for Terrence Crawford. He's a 7-1 favorite in this fight. Many people believe he's going to win this fight, but there's a good amount of people that believe Sean Porter is going to test him in ways he hasn't been tested in throughout his career. Sean Porter is 31-3-1. He's got 17 knockouts. He's never been stopped. Every single one of his losses were tough contested fights. He lost a tough decision to Keith Thurman, I believe, in 2017. And, you know, he gave Thurman all he can handle, but Thurman proved to be a little too quick for him in that fight. But, you know, Sean Porter's a solid fighter. He did hold the title before losing it against Kell Brook back in 2014-15, I believe. And he's a veteran, man. He's, you know, he's not a journeyman. He's a top echelon elite fighter that has faced everybody there is in the welterweight division. I don't know of any top elite welterweights that Sean Porter hasn't faced. He's faced Danny Garcia. He's faced Keith Thurman. He's faced Errol Spence. He's faced Kell Brook. You know, he's even faced the tough, rugged guys that nobody wants to fight, like your Dennis Ugas. He's fought Adrian Granados, you know, so Porter's been through the mud. You know, he fought Andre Berto. He stopped Berto. You know, he's beaten Adrian Broner. So there's a lot of names that Sean Porter has on his resume that people can recognize. So I don't think there's any question that Porter is a significant and strong test for Terrence Bud Crawford tonight. It's the main event, WBO Welterweight Championship. They're going to go 12 rounds. This one's live from the Michelob Ultra Arena in Nevada, Las Vegas. I believe that's the Mandalay Bay Arena. And this is a fight promoted by Top Rank and ESPN. Obviously, Sean Porter is a PBC fighter, so he's came across the street to contest for this WBO title. As we're getting very close to this fight. Appreciate you guys tuning in. We're gonna go live round by round scoring and commentary for this fight. Now I'm gonna give my take on the fight. This is a good fight, man. Great clash of styles. I look at this fight. What am I looking for to see in this fight is who establishes their jab. And, you know, I anticipate Terrence Bud Crawford and Sean Porter to have very similar reflexes and quickness. And in that situation, it's going to come down to timing. Who's going to set up their shots at the right moments? Obviously, the jab is going to be key in this fight. We know that Terrence Bud Crawford is a fighter that can fight southpaw or orthodox. He's ambidextrous. A lot of people feel that he's going to come out as a southpaw in this fight because tactically southpaws give orthodox fighters some more trouble than a normal orthodox fighter would give. So that's also one thing I'm going to be taking a look at. Is Terrence Crawford going to come out in southpaw or is he going to come out in orthodox? Most likely going to come out in southpaw. Now we look at it for Shawn Porter. Shawn Porter is a tough, rugged fighter who comes forward, but he also knows how to box. Against Danny Garcia, he was using a lot of feints, a lot of head movements, a lot of, setup movement, upper body movement. He uses his feet well. And I love how Shawn Porter is always on his toes, and he's always in a position to react and counter. He's a great counter puncher, but he can also lead on the front foot. So I'm expecting a high-level chess match in this fight. Very high-level chess match. Terrence Crawford, you got to give him the edge. He's undefeated. He's the type of fighter that is able to adjust to any style. And he said going into this fight that he believes he's going to be the first fighter to make Shawn Porter not do what he wants to do. Shawn Porter is usually a fighter that dictates the pace of the fight, whether he's boxing or brawling. And we know Crawford knows how to do both. So I want to see who's going to take the lead. I have no idea who's going to take the lead, but I can imagine that Terrence Crawford is going to try to establish his jab from the southpaw position as Showtime Shawn Porter is about to make his ring walk. He's wearing a black robe that says War on the back, and he is dedicating this fight to Marvin Hagler, the great middleweight champion who passed away earlier this year. And Showtime Shawn Porter, man, I've heard some things in camp that he really wants to sit down on his punches, make them count. And, is that the best interest for him, though? Because, I'm also watching the football game over here on the left, but Showtime Shawn Porter is making his way to the ring now. He's being escorted by Big E, the WWE Universal Champion. That's crazy. Showtime Shawn Porter's got a black robe. He's got orange Grant gloves. And, this is his moment, man. If Shawn Porter is able to pull off the upset right here, he's going to really cement his legacy as an alt. He's going in there with a guy who's never lost and is arguably the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, as Shawn Porter is being escorted to the ring, walking slowly. And I'm pumped for this fight. I can't wait to see what happens in this one. I'm going to go ahead and make my prediction now. I'm going to say that Terrence Bud Crawford outboxes Shawn Porter and wins a very contested, unanimous decision. At worst, I can see there being some type of majority decision. Oh, wow. Are you serious? How do you let that happen? And that's if Porter is competitive enough to get one of the judges scored a draw. Showtime Shawn Porter making his way to the ring now. He's coming in this with a little bit of swag. He's got a chip on his shoulder. He's a fighter that always has a chip on his shoulder, always looking for something to prove. And he looks pumped up as he gets into the ring and he's jumping on his toes. He's got his father in his corner. Mr. Porter, who's a good man. And so I can't wait for this fight. Stay tuned. Make sure you sub to the channel, Air Show Sports. And here we go. Sean Porter is in the ring now. And Terrence Bud Crawford is about to make his way to the ring. Stay tuned. Terrence Bud Crawford making his way to the ring currently. Terrence Bud Crawford. Can't wait for this one. It's a big fight. As we're still waiting to see the main camera shot on Terrence Crawford. They're playing some highlights on the Jumbotron currently at the Michelob Ultra Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. Here comes Terrence Bud Crawford, 37-0, 28 knockouts. He's coming out with a white robe, white boxing gloves, Everlast. As he is coming out with a lot of swag as well to the song I'm Bad by LL Cool J, and he's not escorted by anybody. Terrence Bud Crawford, as he walks to the ring by himself, very majestic. I really believe that Terrence Crawford knows what he's in for tonight. He knows that he has to teach Sean Porter how to lose, and it would be very impressive if Terrence Bud Crawford is to stop Sean Porter, as Sean Porter's never been stopped in his career, let alone really hurt. We saw him dropped against Errol Spence, as Terrence Bud Crawford steps into the ring, as both main event fighters are in the ring and they're ready to go. Terrence Bud Crawford in his corner now with Bomac, as the fighters are now in the ring and they are awaiting Jimmy Lennon Jr.'s announcement for them to get this on. Stay tuned. What? I don't know what that means. YouTube's on some other stuff. All right, well, we're here live. Aaron Cantu, Air Show Sports. Thanks for tuning in today. For those of you who filter in, make sure you sub to the channel. Hit the like button. Helps with the visibility and popularity of the show. 12 rounds of boxing for the WBO Welterweight Championship of the World. Terrence Bud Crawford, 37-0, 28 knockouts, taking on Showtime Sean Porter, 31-3, 1 draw, 17 knockouts. Terrence Bud Crawford stopped Showtime Sean Porter, I'll be thoroughly impressed. And I'll make the case that he is #1 alone. Top pound for pound. Sean Porter is being introduced first as a challenger. Oh, wow. He's 4-3 with a knockout in World Championship fights. Yeah, he's coming in at 146.6 pounds. He's 34 years old. So this is a big moment for Sean Porter. He's a 2-time welterweight champion of the world. Showtime Sean Porter. As Jimmy Lennon finishes his announcement of Showtime Sean Porter in the corner. The defending world champion, Terrence Bud Crawford, now being introduced in his corner. Terrence Bud Crawford from Omaha, Nebraska. He came in at 146.4 pounds. He's also 34 years old. He's 15-0 with 12 knockouts in world championship fights. And he connects on 47.5% of his power punches, which is second in all of boxing. That's impressive. He's a very economical puncher, strong puncher. He's got power in both hands. And Bud is looking ready for this one. I can't wait for this fight, man. Woo-hoo-hoo! Let's go. Terrence Bud Crawford, introduced by Jimmy Lennon Jr. as both fighters are now stepping forward to meet in the center of the ring. Celestino Ruiz is the referee tonight for this WBO World Championship fight. Both fighters at the center of the ring. Crawford's looking straight into Porter's eyes. Porter is glancing straight at him as well. They touch gloves, and we are seconds away from the opening bell of this WBO Welterweight Championship fight between Terrence Bud Crawford, 37-0, 28 knockouts, and Showtime Sean Porter, 31-3-1, 17 knockouts. Sean Porter, Terrence Bud Crawford. See how this fight goes. Does it go the distance? Here we go. The opening bell rings and Porter rushes straight forward and he throws an overhand right to try to stun Crawford early. Porter is coming out active as he triples up the jab in the center of the ring. Crawford yet to throw a punch. Ooh, good winging hook by Porter. He leaped in and glanced Crawford on the chin. Wasn't anything significant, but Porter is coming out very active, using a lot of head movements and feints. Throws a double jab to the body. Porter coming out very active, very strong. We're only 30 seconds in. Good 3-punch combination by Porter. Didn't land anything clean, but Bud is holding on the inside. Porter is trying to dictate the pace early. Bud finally throws a right-handed jab. He's coming out in southpaw. Excuse me. Bud Crawford is coming out orthodox. I don't know why I thought he was in southpaw. He's in orthodox currently. He's thrown one jab, but so far Porter is the aggressor. Hasn't landed anything crazy, but he probes with the jab. He's chasing Crawford along the ropes. Crawford pivots out while holding Porter, getting back to the center of the ring. Interesting round. We're about halfway through the first round, and Porter is the one who is activating his offense. Double jab by Porter, and both fighters tie up on the inside. Looks like Porter's quickness is giving Bud some issues right now. Nothing crazy landed. Porter tries a double jab and a hook that just missed, then ducks a right hand by Bud. Bud misses with the uppercut, then pivots back to the center of the ring as both fighters tie up. Porter along the ropes now, moving to his left. He's got good upper body movement. And he's got a lot of really good active feints. Good jab by both fighters. Crawford landed first. Porter countered with it. Good downstairs jab by Porter. Porter's looking strong in his first round. Sean Porter came to win this fight. Oh, he lands a nice left hook. Guard up by Crawford. Didn't land flush, but it's obvious that Porter has taken command in this first round. Double jab to the body by Porter. Porter's backing up Crawford. Very interesting. First time we see Crawford probe from the southpaw position, but he switches right back. As both fighters are in the center of the ring. This is a very good round for Showtime Sean Porter. He's going to take this first round. 10-9 round for Showtime Sean Porter. Wow. His quickness gave Terrence Crawford some issues in that first round, and he dictated the pace throughout. It is the WBO World Championship between Showtime Sean Porter and Terrence Bud Crawford, and Showtime Sean Porter has taken the first round, dictating the pace, coming out with strong jabs, and he's showing that he's trying to win this fight as we all expected. Fighters still in their corner as the bell rings for round 2. And Showtime Sean Porter and Terrence Bud Crawford meet at the center of the ring. A lot of probing, a lot of what I expected, which is a high-level chess match. But Showtime Sean Porter's quickness is giving Bud some issues as he roughs him up on the inside, and you see Bud holding Sean Porter, trying to smother his offense. Crawford comes out in southpaw now. And now he's going to try to feint. He's going to try to establish the jab with the right hand. Good jab to the body by Porter. Crawford looks way more active and way more comfortable when he's in that southpaw position. Looks like he's got more tools when he's in that position. It's interesting to see that he's gone to it early in this fight. Round 2, 1 minute in. Crawford just missed with a glancing right hook. Porter lunged in with the jab. Double jab feint by Porter. Porter using a lot of head movements and feints. Bud trying to set up the left hand straight down the pipe. A lot of posturing, a lot of feints. Ooh, good straight right hand by Crawford. That's the best punch of the fight for him. Looked like it got Porter's attention. Ooh, good right hand by Porter after he ducked a right hook by Crawford. Very interesting second round. We're about halfway through. Porter moving to his left side. Oh, he throws a 2-1 that landed, and then they tie up in the middle of the ring. Showtime Sean Porter's fighting very smart. He's picking his shots. He's not vulnerable after throwing either. Oh, Bud Crawford just missing with the left uppercut as they trade on the inside. Showtime Sean Porter landed a hook, and he's backing up Crawford. He landed an overhand right. Crawford lands a right hand. Oh, this is a good action round. I'm giving the edge to Porter so far. He's tagged Crawford on some quick shots. Crawford probing, trying to land that uppercut on the inside out of the southpaw position. Showtime Sean Porter trying to jab, but he looks like his offense has slowed down a little bit. They tie up, and Celestino Ruiz breaks him up. This is another good round for Porter. He's putting something on Crawford to show and make him reluctant from just charging in on Porter. Crawford tries to jab with the right hand. 10 seconds left in the fight, or excuse me, the round. Ooh. Crawford landed a nice left uppercut at the end of the round, but it caught most of Porter's glove. That was a good round. I'm going to give that one to Shawn Porter once again. Oh, they just showed on the replay. Shawn Porter landed a strong overhand right on the temple of Terrence Bud Crawford. So good round for Shawn Porter. Wondering how long he's going to be able to keep this pace up. If he's able to keep this pace up, he can eke out a decision. Still super early to be talking about that, but looks like Crawford's going to have to make some adjustments here. As both fighters get instruction from their corners, heading back into the third round. I got it 2-0 Shawn Porter. And we're going to keep track of this thing as round 3 starts. Fighters meet at the center of the ring, and Bud Crawford is probing with his right jab. Porter's looking real patient, real composed. You can tell that Bud's trying to set up that right hook when Porter lunges in. Porter feints with the right hand. Bud Crawford posturing, trying to get a reaction from Porter, but he's not taking the bait. Porter ducks in, lands a glancing hook to the body. Oh, Porter lunging in with the right hand, then opens up with a left hook that pushes Crawford back to the center of the ring. Nothing landed crazy, but he's definitely dictating the pace of the fight and showing some ring generalship as he lands the second of his double jabs. Crawford's going to have to start answering Porter with something. It's obvious that Porter has the quickness advantage. Oh, good straight jab by Porter. Oh my goodness, Shawn Porter is looking very sharp tonight. And Crawford is the one who's searching right now. You could tell that he needs to find some type of rhythm halfway through this third round. Otherwise, Shawn Porter is going to take this round again. Some feints from Porter along the ropes. High-level chess match. Not a lot of trading yet, but they could open up at any second. A lot of feints, a lot of posturing as Crawford tries to probe with the jab, steps around. Porter is rushing him, pushing him back to the center, lands a hook, throws. Good right hand by Porter that backed up Crawford. Crawford's backed up on the ropes, and now he holds on the inside. Crawford is getting outboxed by Shawn Porter here in this third round. Porter tries to land an overhand right. I don't think I've seen Shawn Porter look this good, but he does have some blood coming from his right eye. Must have been from a hook from Crawford. Must have been a left hand from Crawford. Porter is cut, but he's winning this round as he moves along the ropes to his left. Head movement as the fighters tangled up on the inside, and Porter fell on the canvas, but it was an obvious trip. No harm, no foul there. 10 seconds left in the round. It's about to be 3-0 Shawn Porter, man. He's dictated this fight. He's shown a lot of ring generalship. Nice chopping left hand by Bud Crawford, and he tries to manhandle Porter back. But Porter's showing a lot of bravado, man. Wow. I'm surprised that Showtime Shawn Porter is dictating this fight. He looks sharp. The only concern is he has a small cut over his right eye. And actually, it's not that small. It's a good cut. It's a decent cut. It's not bleeding a lot, but it's there. I guess they're trying to determine right now whether it was a clash of heads. And it was a clash of heads, as they're showing on the replay that cut was caused by a clash of heads. Good chopping uppercut by Porter on the inside, and a right hand to follow up. Dude, Porter's winning this fight. I got it 3-0 right now, 30-27 for Porter. Crawford looks a little bit off his game right now. Round 4. Here we go. WBO welterweight world championship. Crawford with a jab to the body out of the southpaw position. 20 punches landed for Crawford, 80 thrown, 25 landed for Porter, 99 thrown. Red scored round by round. I got Sean Porter up 3 rounds to 0. I don't see how you could score any rounds for Crawford. He's been searching. He's been the one who's backed up. He just misses with a winging left hand, but he's getting backed up by a right hand by Porter. Porter looking strong. Porter backing up. Tries to counter with the jab. Good right hand by Crawford. Ooh, good left hand to the body by Crawford. 4th round, a minute in. Crawford missed with a double jab, left hand. Then he glances with a right hook to Porter's chin. Good left hand by Crawford. Crawford trying to get in some type of rhythm here. He looks like he's getting going more than he has in the first 3 rounds. They're in the center of the ring. A lot of upper body movement by both fighters. A lot of posturing. This is a high-level chess match. This is great boxing right here. Just halfway through this 4th round. Pretty even round so far. Nothing definitive yet. But I must say that Crawford's body language looks a little bit more encouraging. But he gets backed up with a right hand by Porter. Nods his head, but that means he obviously is being affected by it. Porter is backing up Crawford. Now Porter's on his toes with his hands down, trying to time Crawford. Porter looks super comfortable in this fight. Double jab by Porter. Dude, Porter is proving to be very effective with his boxing skill here. And it's Crawford the one who has to answer. He lands a chopping left hand on the inside that was partially blocked by Porter. Crawford moving to his left. Tries to probe with the jab. Crawford hasn't really established the jab. He takes a sharp right hand from Porter. Porter is making all the right moves right now. Feints by Porter. His timing is what is making a difference in this fight. Oh, Crawford lands a right hook that hit the back of the head of Porter. Porter on the ropes now. Oh! Porter dropping his hands and kind of taunting Crawford. Crawford doing too much waiting. Porter backing him up. And it seems that Crawford's punches don't have as much of an effect on Porter as Porter's have on Crawford. I got it 4 rounds to 0 for Showtime Sean Porter. Call me crazy, but this is what I'm seeing. I'm interpreting the fight the way I see it. And I honestly don't see how you could give any rounds to Crawford. 10-9. I got it 40 to 36. Showtime Sean Porter. Good fight, man. Great high-level chess match. Just like I anticipated. But I thought Bud was going to be the one dictating the pace. He had a little bit more success, but he still was getting backed up most of the round. Dang, I'm glad I did not go to this fight, because I would be shocked right now, especially in Vegas. But it's still early. We're heading into the 5th round. Showtime Sean Porter has a cut due to a headbutt from that 3rd round. But we're starting the 5th round here. And I got Showtime up 4 rounds to none. As both fighters are starting to hold their ground a little bit more. A lot of upper body movement. Showtime Sean Porter backs Crawford up with the right hand. Crawford still hasn't found a place for that jab. Dude, I haven't seen Sean Porter this sharp ever. He looks super sharp, dude. Andre Ward has it 39-37 for Porter. He gave the last round to Crawford. Oh, good right hand on the inside by Porter. Porter's chopping chopping on the inside when Bud's trying to hold him. Damn, Crawford looks uncomfortable. Porter backs him up with a jab. Crawford smirked, but it looks like he's uncomfortable to me. Porter moving to his left. Porter's making all the right moves and decisions tonight, folks. He's looking sharp. He's given more than enough for Crawford to handle tonight. Porter rushing in as both fighters clinch on the inside. This is a high-level chess match, and Porter's winning it. Crawford needs a big punch to turn this fight around. I can't remember the last time he landed something solid. Oh, good combination by Porter. He's backing up Crawford. Crawford's got his guard up. Is Crawford hurt right now? Crawford's not hurt, but he's taking a lot of punishment. He tries to put his guard up, and he's coming forward now. Porter clinches on the inside. Crawford pushes him back along the ropes. Porter trying to fight off the ropes. Now he holds Bud as Bud ducks down. 35 seconds in this 5th round. Porter turns Crawford and lands a chopping uppercut on the inside. Porter backing up Crawford on the ropes. Damn. Porter moving to his left, circling the ring. This round's almost over. He's got another one in the bag in my scorecard. Good 1-2 by Porter off the ropes. Oh, Crawford just missed with a winging right hook. Throws a jab to the body. Good left hand to the body by Crawford. Oh, he landed on Porter. Porter looked like for the first time in the fight, he was uncomfortable. But I'm giving that round to Showtime Sean Porter. You can't tell me otherwise. Crawford's not doing what he wants in the fight. He's not doing what we normally see from the pound for pound Terrence Bud Crawford. I just hope that these judges, they're getting this right. I think if you're generous, you giving Crawford 1 round. I haven't given him any rounds. And I picked Crawford to win this fight going into the fight. So I'm not being biased. I'm just calling it how I see it. I've never seen Terrence Bud Crawford this uncomfortable in the fight. So right now, I got it 50-45 for Showtime Sean Porter after 5 rounds. Now, it's still a long fight. Bud can change the fight with 1 punch. If you can hurt Sean Porter or put him on the mat, that changes the trajectory of the fight and the scorecards as round 6 starts. With Bud coming in with hooks and a winging left hand. And now he's trying to put it on Porter. Porter tries to throw back. Bud is starting to get his rhythm here. Porter's going to have to, he's trying to duck. He's getting low. You can tell Bud is throwing hard now. He lands a right hand. Bud is starting to see himself into this fight. Oh, Porter coming forward now. Bud having to duck and clinch on the inside. It's a good-ass fight. Fighters in the center of the ring. Showtime Sean Porter feinting. Tries to land the right hand. A lot of clinching. Once the initial attack is nullified, both fighters usually clinch on the inside. Good timing by Crawford. Lands a left hand on the inside. I say at the end of the last round and early into this round is the first time we've seen Porter look a little bit uncomfortable. Some fatigue might be setting in. Crawford takes a wide-eyed look at Porter as he steps back to the center of the ring. Feints. Porter just misses with the right hand. Good straight left hand by Crawford. 6th round, halfway through the 6th round. Porter feints. Oh, just misses with a winging right hand. They might have clashed on the inside with another headbutt. Oh, wow. Crawford's looking uncomfortable, and the referee Calls timed. Looks like Crawford has a cut. Crawford has a cut on his inside, on the inside part of his eye now. So both fighters are cut from headbutts. I think Crawford's had the best round of the fight in this one. 6th round. Wow. A lot of parity in this fight. Porter's bagged a lot of these early rounds. Good hook to the body by Porter. Another one. Backing up Crawford. Crawford tries to land going backwards. Good chopping right hand by Porter on the inside. As Crawford tries to clinch, Porter's trying to fight. Porter's making a good showing here late in this round. Oh, good exchange on the inside. Both fighters landing hooks to the body as they lean on each other on the inside in the center of the ring. And Celestino Ruiz breaks him up. Porter just missing with a double jab right hand. 6 rounds over. I'm going to give that one to Crawford. Yep, they clashed heads again. Yep, Crawford's got a slight cut on his right eye, inside part of his right eye. Both fighters have cuts on their right eyes now from headbutts. That's crazy. Looks like Sean Porter in his corner, they've stopped the bleeding from his cut. But both fighters are cut from headbutts from their right eye. Porter landing 43 out of 168 according to the power punches. 37 out of 101 for Crawford power punches. Higher percentage for Crawford, more landed for Porter. Seventh round right here. I got a 59-55 Showtime Sean Porter. Yeah, Crawford landed more power punches in that last round, 13-9. That's why I gave it to him. I got to say, that's probably the first round that he's landed more than Porter. We're in the 7th round. Nothing crazy so far. Posturing, probing. Crawford in that southpaw stance. Porter tries to land the right hand as they clinch on the inside. Oh, good right hand by Porter. He's backed up Crawford in the ropes, but Crawford's going to hug him on the inside. A lot of wrestling and a lot of clinching. But it's because both these guys are trying to counter. And once the counter is nullified, they wrestle on the inside. Porter on his toes. Not a lot of action in this round. Porter just missing with the right hand. Ooh, good left hand by Crawford, and he steps back to the center of the ring. Porter's got a good chin. Crawford's not jabbing enough. He needs to throw some jabs and set up his punches. I feel like he's just waiting and trying to counter too much. Just missing with the right hook on the inside. Porter's the aggressor, and he's constantly and continuously backing up Crawford. I'm appalled, seriously. I expected Crawford to be on his toes, circling the ring, using his technique. But it's the other way around. Look at Sean Porter on his toes, catching the rhythm. Crawford's the one doing the reacting. Porter is dictating this fight, people. That's a close round. This is a close round, this 7th round. 1-2 from Bud. That's a close round. I'm going to give that round to Bud. But that was a swing round. I'm going to give it to Bud, though. And I got it 68-65 after 7. Stay tuned. Sean Porter, man, he's fighting a hell of a fight. I believe he's winning this fight. I got him 3 rounds up. I got Showtime Sean Porter 3 rounds up on Terrence Bud Crawford. And Sean Porter to win a decision was 11-1 going into this fight. 8th round. If Sean Porter wins one more round on my card of the remaining rounds, the worst he can get is a draw. Oh, good right hand by Crawford. That was he landed it was a half hook, half right hand, but Porter ate it. Now they're starting to throw. They're starting to trade. Good left hand by Crawford. Crawford tagging Porter. Ooh. Crawford's landing some good shots in this round early, but Porter is still there, and he's still trying to be the aggressor. Great fight so far. Wow, Andre Ward has it 67-66. He's given the last 2 rounds to Crawford. I have it 65-68 for Porter. So I have one more round for Porter in the bag than Andre Ward does. He still got Porter up by a round. We're in the 8th round. But it's pretty obvious that the dictator, the aggressor in this fight is Showtime Sean Porter. Both fighters clinch on the inside. A little bit more rugged and dirty action here in this 8th round. Nothing crazy landing. Good jab on the inside by Porter. Snaps the head back of Crawford. Both these guys have great chins. Porter stalking. Gets Crawford to clinch him along the ropes. I need to plug in my power source. Otherwise, my battery is going to die on my laptop. Oh, big right hand by Porter. Oh, another one. As you see, Terrence Crawford looks uncomfortable after taking those shots. Oh, my goodness. Porter's found a home for that overhand right, people. All right. That little flurry gives Porter the upper hand in this round, in my opinion. It's a good back and forth round, though. I could see it going either way, but I'm edging it to Porter. He landed 2 sharp, consecutive, strong power shots that backed up Terrence Bud Crawford, and we haven't seen Terrence Bud Crawford this uncomfortable in any of his fights. Crawford's the one backing up and trying to circle the ring. As the round ends with no action, but I'm giving that round to Showtime Sean Porter, people. You know why? Because he's beating Crawford at his own game. Boom. Big overhand right by Porter. Definitely got the attention of Crawford. Crawford did land a nice right hook on the inside there. It's a good round. I think if you're biased for Crawford, you would give him that round. I'm not biased for anybody. I think Shawn Porter won that round. The judges want Crawford to get back in this fight. They would give him that round. I think that Crawford needs to do a little more to win these rounds, in my opinion. Here we go. 9th round. Showtime, Shawn Porter and Terrence Bud Crawford for the WBO Welterweight Championship of the World. Crawford glances Shawn Porter on the temple with a winging left hand. Both fighters in the center of the ring. Porter probes with the jab. Crawford tries to answer. Crawford in the southpaw position. Porter is feinting, using a lot of head movement. Ducks a left hand. Crawford with a wide stance, trying to set up his left hand. He needs to shoot some jabs to the bodies to set up his punches. Porter is so alert. He's sharp tonight, folks. Oh. Glancing left hook by Porter. Crawford answers with a jab off the guard of Porter. Porter moving to his left along the ropes. Porter trying to land some right hooks. Crawford ducked a lot of those. Crawford not as active offensively. Shoots a left hand. Tries to jab. Misses Porter just barely. Middle of the round. 9th round over here. Showtime Shawn Porter has fought a brilliant fight tonight, folks. And Crawford's got to do more if he wants to win on my card. Porter is trying to be the aggressor, landing rugged shots on the inside while Crawford clinches. Now, for perspective, I did pick Terrence Bud Crawford to win this fight. So the fact that Shawn Porter is coming out and proving himself is showing me a lot tonight, as Crawford lands a nice chopping left hand on the inside and another one. Crawford's starting to get in a nice little rhythm here. This is a good answer back round. He tries a chopping uppercut on the inside that goes off the guard of Porter. But I would be disgusted if all of the judges are scoring these rounds for Crawford, because these are tight, close rounds. And you can make the case that Porter has been the consistent and continuous aggressor backing up Crawford in this fight. 10 seconds in this round. Porter not as active in this round. And Crawford has been able to get a beat on him. I'm going to score this round for Crawford. And deservedly so. This is crazy, people. I got my boy Brandon Glanson right here. One of the best cruiserweights in the world. I don't know what they're telling Bud Crawford in the corner, because I'm watching the Spanish version of this fight. But he looks like there's some urgency, and Bud is getting told that he's got to step it up. You could tell by his body language. He's got to step it up. I got Porter up 87-84 right now, people. Crawford's got to, he's got to put something on Porter emphatically in these last few rounds if he wants to win this fight. If he gives up another round on my card, he's going to lose a fight. Oh, he dropped Shawn Porter. There he goes. He just dropped Shawn Porter with a counter uppercut on the inside. Porter doesn't look hurt, but it definitely caught him off balance where he didn't expect it. Porter's going to come back. He's a game fighter. Here they go. Porter's still alert. I don't think he's hurt from the fight, but he definitely got caught. And it's going to be a 10-8 route unless Crawford can put him down again. As Crawford's probing with the jab. Oh, lands a right hook. Porter looks very uncomfortable. This could be the turning point that Bud needs. 10th round. Holy smokes. Oh. Oh, good hook. Oh, my goodness. Sean Porter's down again. He got hit with the right hook left hand by Crawford. And he's hurt. I think he's hurt this time. He slams the ground in anger that he got knocked down. Oh, my God. The fight's over. Crawford wins by knockout. What the fuck? Oh my gosh. Kenny Porter stopped the fight. And Sean Porter was really hurt by that, dude. It's over. Crawford comes back to win by knockout. He was down on the cards and he stopped Sean Porter here in the 10th. Oh my goodness. What a spectacular knockout by Terrence Crawford. Oh my gosh. The first knockdown, Sean Porter didn't look hurt. He looked like it was a flash knockdown. But this second one, he got caught with a right hook, left hand, and he was obviously hurt. He got up. He beat the count. He looked like he wanted to continue. But Kenny Porter, his dad, stopped the fight. Wow. What a development. I can't believe that. This is boxing. One punch could change the fight. I had Crawford down 87-84. And he comes back to win by knockout. Oh my goodness. I cannot believe this. That is crazy. And he abruptly got stopped. Terrence Crawford is amazing. What a performance. Down on the cards and coming back to win by knockout. Terrence Crawford. Thanks for tuning in.